Could my favorite category be coming up next for TANABATA 2024? Let's discuss the major hints that have been dropped in the missions for the legendary Frieza event of all things. I just did a video breaking down the data download on the JP side of the game, but I did not discuss this specifically. I did touch on the intensifying fights and how you could see UI Goku in the missions, but I didn't connect the dots with this one. So this second video is basically following up the last one. So let's jump in and talk about this. When you look at these missions right here, the legendary Frieza event, the missions aren't starting at the same time as the intensifying fights. In fact, they are happening a week later. Now, this is very significant because when you look at the entire scope of the celebration, this goes on until basically the end of June. And around the end of June, going into July, that is when Global goes into the 9th anniversary. At the same time, JP has the TANABATA celebration. The TANABATA celebration is one of the biggest celebrations of the year. And so sometimes they will kind of plant the seeds for upcoming content. So if they are dropping these missions late enough, when I say late enough, I'm talking about the celebration that it's in, why would they be doing that? Perhaps these categories pertain to some other units that are going to be coming up in the following celebrations. The three here: Universe Survival Saga, clear with a team of 6 from Universe Survival Saga, clear with a team of 6 from Space Traveling Warriors, clear with a team of 6 from Universe 6. That is very significant. This could mean that Tournament of Power is in fact coming up next. If we go back to last year, this was the celebration last year. The Turles Dokkan Festival Part 1 was the final Dokkan Festival that JP had before TANABATA. Then their final Part 2 luxury unit before TANABATA was the Spirit Bomb Goku. These two characters famously dropped on Global after the worldwide download celebration. This year's going to be a little bit different because their Part 1 was Rose, which we already got. Cell Max, as of me recording and posting this video, still we don't know what's going to be happening with Cell Max for Part 2. My guess is that we don't get Cell Max, but hey, things could change. But regardless, Part 2 ended on June 30th. That's when the banner anyway ended. This ended while the celebration for TANABATA started. The teaser for the TANABATA was on the 26th. So a couple of days before this celebration ended, we received confirmation that Small Potatoes was going to be the Dokkan Festival LR4 TANABATA 2023. The celebration ultimately started on the 28th while the banner for Spirit Bomb Goku was still in effect. So this is kind of the timeline that we can expect to see repeat itself this year, only maybe a couple of days later, since Part 2 did start a little bit later, a couple of days. So maybe we get the TANABATA reveal in like 10 days or so, but this is very telling. And if we look at the assets, the boss data for the intensifying fights, we've got the Tournament of Power base Goku, we got God Goku, we got UI Goku, we have the map right here. I mean, it just seems like they're kind of moving in that direction. Also, factor this. When you look at the year that has been 2024 when it comes to Dokkan, they have done a relatively decent job in comparison to years past as far as upgrading the categories that they are focusing on. This is the global schedule, so that's not exactly the most indicative. But like when you look at JP's previous celebrations, their Topo Dokkan Festival, as random as it seemed, ultimately by the end of it, massively upgraded the category that is Special Pose. Special Pose is a joke category that nobody cares about, but it became very, very good with the Dokkan Festival, with the Easy A's, and some of the other subsequent characters that dropped. That made the Special Pose category very, very good. Golden Week made a humongous, astronomical upgrade to the Majin Buu saga, and not even just by the summonable characters. You got the big three right here, but all of those insane Easy A's, both free to play and otherwise, made for some incredible content, and plus the events were amazing. This was a massive win for Dokkan overall, boosting one of the biggest categories in the game even more so. So now they've kind of been on this little crusade of boosting super bosses and superheroes. Superheroes got a massive boost during the celebration 9th anniversary. Super bosses not as much, with only one being Broly, but then that's where the Goku Black Rose comes in. Then Rose got the passive upgrade, and now JP got Cell Max. So with these recent characters that have dropped for super bosses, if they were to continue that even more into the TANABATA celebration, that would be another amazing step in boosting those categories even more. And maybe at that point, they shift gears. And this kind of factors into the theory that a lot of people have had. I did a video on this where GT could potentially be coming up for worldwide download. Last year's TANABATA was GT, so a lot of people are kind of dismissing the notion of GT coming back again for TANABATA. Never say never, but it is a logical way to think. So if GT could be worldwide download, Tanabata could very well be Tournament of Power. Now, I've had a dream that worldwide download would be Tournament of Power. I don't know if that's going to happen, and especially with these new hints, it kind of goes against that. But still, if I'm going to get my favorite category in some form or fashion, I'll take it. And if it's not going to be worldwide, one of the next biggest celebrations, Tanabata, I will be more than happy to accept that. So now let's go. Actually, you know what? Let me pull up some of Air Dokkan's tweets just to kind of further this a little bit. So Air Dokkan, Tanabata Dokkan Festival teaser should be in a week. A little more than that, I would say, not exactly a week. He dropped this 2 days ago. So not exactly a week. I'd say a little bit more. As I said yesterday, around June 23rd, 24th, we could see a teaser. I think it'll be a little bit later than that, but still, the point is, he points out the same thing. New Legendary Freeze event missions included in the data download are set for the 25th. This seems unusual given that Rosé celebration ends 2 days later. This goes back to what I was talking about. There's that minor overlap. It happened last year, 30th, 28th, so it could totally happen again. With this one ending on the 2nd of July, maybe on the 1st of July, or maybe like July, what is it, June 30? Do we have 31 days in June? I never know. 30 days in June. So maybe like June 30th, the Tanabata celebration would start for JP. Who is it going to be? Let's discuss. Let's discuss some possible EZAs and some possible Dokkan Fest. So assuming Tournament of Power is now going to be Tanabata. Or you know what? Let's also throw in Universe 6 versus Universe 7. Right? Because I think that that's fair. If we look at the Frieza missions, it is still fair to say, well, I mean, this is Universe Survival Saga. Yeah. I don't know if it would necessarily be Universe 6 versus Universe 7, because this kind of eliminates that. But we'll still keep it in there. Universe 6 versus Universe 7 or Tournament of Power. What could we see? UI Goku, easy pick. Tanabata. I mean, what was last Tanabata? It was Super Saiyan 4. The year before that, it was Trunks and Vegeta. So it's got to be either a Goku or Vegeta unit. So I would say one of these two. Obviously, out of the two, Goku is more box office. So if you lead with a UI Goku Part 1, and then having a Vegeta being a Part 2, if anything, is probably better. So I'm going to go ahead and just assume Autonomous Ultra Instinct makes the most sense for a Tanabata Part 1 LR. Now, if your argument against this is going to be animations, I would present to you Case A, Gogeta. Dragon Ball Super Gogeta has seen so many versions of the same animations repeated with high quality, mind you, in recent characters. 9th Anniversary Carnival LR Gogeta does basically what we see from the 7th Anniversary LR, from the 5th Anniversary LR. So I don't think at this point it is a cardinal sin for them to repeat animations, as long as they just put in the effort to make it look even better slightly. You know, as long as they're not like straight ripping STR UI's animation or AGL UI's animation, I think that would probably be okay. Out of the two versions of Migotte no Gokui, I would probably say this one is more likely, just because there's less to work with on this one. But maybe they could go with this. Maybe they make the angry punch thing an actual attack instead of an active skill. Who knows? They could do whatever they want and people would be fine. People would throw money at the screen if they had UI Goku. So UI Goku, I think, is the undisputed candidate for a Part 1 for Tanabata, assuming it's Tournament of Power. But if we want to throw some other ones out there, I mean, you want to make Jiren the Part 1? I mean, I would be fine with that. I'm a very biased, you know, Universe Survival Saga fanboy. This is my favorite category. So if they were to make this guy a Dokkan Festival Part 1, yes, please. Or maybe, oh, what if they do a Dokkan Festival Goku Frieza? Oh my God. What if we got a Goku? You know what I just realized? Why is Goku Frieza super class, but Hito and God Goku is extreme class? It's cool. We like him. Anyway, Dokkan Festival Goku Frieza. I think I might have just picked my new favorite. I think I would want this personally, just because this guy, he got his EZA. He's kind of old news. I would like these animations to be associated with a character that is more relevant, so I get to use them more. So I'm going to say Goku or Goku Frieza. That would be a cool Part 1. As far as a Part 2 is concerned, I mean, any super boss would be fine. And then that would fall in line with having GT being worldwide download. You could throw in like Baby or Omega Shenron or whatever as like the extreme class characters, because that was like the one argument against my worldwide download Tournament of Power theory. As much as it makes sense poetically, worlds colliding, you know, the universe of Global, the universe of JP coinciding, that's cool and all, but who the heck are going to be the extreme class characters? Unless they invent new characters like Ani Raza, or they bring out like, I don't know, Trinity, I was gonna say Trinity Limit, Kingdom Hearts, Bergamo's Trio de Danger, right? What if that's an LR? That would be actually a really cool summonable LR. Where are these? I'm coming up with some great ideas in this video. Hello. So, you know, if you want to have actual Extreme Class B worldwide download, give us a super class, super boss for part 2. Let it be Jiren, or let it be that base Kefla that people were thinking could potentially be what happened for Cell Max. So Kefla, or you, or maybe you, LR Hito. That would be cool. Anybody else? No, Frost, nobody cares. You're trash. 17, give me a 17. Sure. Nah, he's not a super boss though. It's got to be super boss. Like part 2 would have to be super boss. Make part 1 superhero, part 2 super boss, or flip the script. Give me a Dokkan Festival super boss part 1. So a Dokkan Festival LR Jiren, and then have the part 2 be a what if LR of blue. Oh, I'm on fire today. Royal blue and UI, please. Is that, am I insane? Judge away in the comments. I don't blame you. This is Tournament of Power. When this category comes into the conversation, I do get a little bit psychotic. But yeah, so some pretty massive hype potential coming up for JP players. Where does this leave Global? Global normally inherits the TANABATA units in November, but considering there is so much uncertainty between now and worldwide download, my best guess is, I don't know, this. Oh yeah, speaking of this, the pre-worldwide Dokkan Fest now might suddenly surge in value if TANABATA ends up being Tournament of Power. So stay tuned, global players. A lot of following characters that will happen after 9-year anniversary might suddenly become very important. There's already one, Cell Max. Depending on where Cell Max ends up, players are going to be very much keeping an eye on that because of Broly. But now with another possible super boss coming up for TANABATA, superhero, y'all are going to have to pay attention. Get ready. And this is why Dokkaning responsibly is so important. Conserve them stones wherever possible. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments if you like the idea of Tournament of Power being a worldwide download celebration or a TANABATA celebration. And if so, map out the celebration for me. If you would rather it be worldwide, who would the part 1s and part 2s be? That would be 4 characters. If it's TANABATA that you would like, who would the part 1 be? Who would the part 2 be? Let me know. Give me some extra ones, some wild cards, some sensible picks, and then give me some wild card picks. Like I said, Royal Blue and UI as an LR for crying out loud. So let me know yours in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let each know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. I just talked myself up so much. I'm way too excited. I need to go run or something. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly. Bye.